Thank you for joining Future Logistics 2020. It's really great to have so many leaders from across the sector joining us today.
We really do have a great lineup for you today. Over 20 expert speakers addressing some of the most important challenges facing our industry over the next few years.
But I think one of the important things to say before we move into some guidance is that actually all of the technologies we need for the future already exist.
There is no sort of one size fits all. This is about you, your fleet, and just thinking about the vehicle and the TCO would be a slight oversight. You need to think about the supporting infrastructure, where the energy is going to come from, and how you're going to be able to scale it as well.
So ultimately, my view is that hydrogen is going to be the future, and I certainly think in Britain it would be great for us here. We have a lot of wind, we have a lot of water. Let's turn that into a fuel.
The energy networks are the enabler here, and we can cope with transport decarbonisation.
Autonomy will have a far bigger impact. At one point, McKinsey are saying that we're going to be having 80% of all our goods delivered by autonomous vehicles.
Well, potentially, if you're running the distribution fleet of the future, you won't just have a diesel vehicle. You'll have many different vehicles with different ranges, different charging requirements, and different fuel requirements. So that complexity just of actually getting the vehicles going out and vehicle scheduling is going to increase significantly.
However, a clear direction and certainty is needed for businesses before they invest in designing and building and procuring these new vehicles.
The vehicles, the trucks, are going to be batteries on wheels, and so are the vans. And to change that business model and that logistics, the finance is going to come into it, and you're going to change. The biggest disruption in the whole of the commercial vehicle industry and the logistics company is happening now.
For me, the real art of future data is its integration into a tailored user experience for the customer, built around their requirements and delivered in the most effective way possible for all of their relevant users in their organisation.
We used big data to move people and resources between operations all the way around the country, and we were able to develop the wherewithal to do that in a very short period of time because we have the tools to use it, but also critically the skills in the people to use the tools, so that we can turn all of this data into insight that we can then make decisions on going forward.
And we're really starting to look at how we can utilise data to analyse what's happening where.
In a couple of years' time, you actually end up sharing your Uber or other taxi provider with a parcel that your neighbours are sending that you are taking to a distribution centre.
Low emission zones, congestion zones, road lane management, even car park management can play a key role in changing behavior to drive adoption of new and greener transport options.
When we're planning for the future of our infrastructure, I think it's also important to put in context what you need and what you're trying to achieve in the short to medium term as well. And I'd also reflect that you need an effective planning framework to really kind of enable that and make things possible.
So what infrastructure would be needed to then enable the seamless, easy experience for customers? We need to develop both the physical infrastructure across energy and transport and the digital infrastructure.
This is a time of significant change. As we are leaving the European Union, we are going to see some significant differences in the way that we carry out our international trade.
So it's going to be a little bit of a culture shock for quite a lot of businesses because they've only traded predominantly with the EU under a customs union arrangement.
It gives
the United Kingdom economy other options beyond the southeast ports to ensure that our economies can keep going as our borders controls change.
The future border regime must be tailored according to meet its distinctive requirements. In the meantime, we must all deal with the immediate issues of the impending end of the transition period and how to make it work for logistics in the best way possible.
Whatever form of planning you've done at the moment, now's the time that if you're not already, you sanity check that planning